What's going on, young adults? Pastor Brian here. Welcome again to Coffee with Pastor Brian. This is episode number 9, and today we have the wonderful Amanda Heath with us. What's up, Amanda? How's it going today?
It's going pretty good.
Awesome.
Pretty standard day, you know.
Cool, awesome. Well, for those of you watching, we actually had her husband Travis here with us like 2 or 3 episodes ago, so it was wonderful having him, and now we have you, the better half, here with us.
Don't want to brag. No, yeah. Yeah,
so
it's good to be here.
Yeah,
it's good to be here. Yeah. My name is Amanda, and like you said, I am married to Travis. And I'm 22, going to be 23 at the end of this year.
Awesome.
And I married Travis when I think it was like 2 weeks before my 20th birthday.
Oh, wow.
And we moved here immediately after, so we've been here about 3 years. I moved here from Arkansas, and
Arkansas. So you and I have talked a little bit about Arkansas, what that's like, and how most people in Arkansas are Razorback fans, University of Arkansas.
Yeah, especially Central Arkansas.
Awesome. And so you had mentioned to me that there's something called the Razorback call, or
Calling the Hogs.
Calling the Hogs?
Yeah.
You want to do that for us really quick?
Oh my goodness.
You gotta make Arkansas proud.
I gotta make Dad proud.
Make Dad proud.
This is so embarrassing. Okay.
You don't have to if you don't want
I'm gonna do it, but it's embarrassing, so don't judge me.
This is called Calling the Hogs.
You have to do it with me, you'll catch on, okay?
Okay, we'll do it together.
You ready? Pig suey.
I don't know.
Pig suey.
Pig suey?
Yeah, and one more. Pig suey. Razorbacks.
Razorbacks. Okay.
Yeah, and when everyone does it, it's like a roar.
Oh man, that's awesome.
Yeah.
I imagine like the stadium
nice.
is really full, and especially if they're winning.
Yeah, as we don't have an NFL team, so everyone is a Razorback
All right,
fan.
so go Razorbacks.
Yeah.
Awesome. Thank you for doing that.
Yeah, I know. I told you it was embarrassing. Anything for the video.
That's okay. Dad's gonna watch this and be proud.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
awesome. So tell us a little bit more about yourself. What do you like to do? What are you into?
Pretty much into anything creative. I like to take pictures and do videos, and my husband actually has a YouTube channel, and I video for him a lot, so that's fun. I like to bake and cook.
Yeah. What do you like to bake?
Pie mostly.
All right. Cool.
Yeah.
All right. Awesome. What's probably been your favorite thing to bake, or favorite pie to bake?
Pumpkin pie.
Pie.
100%. That's Travis and I's favorite pie, and I think it was Thanksgiving. I actually took like an actual pumpkin and made the puree myself. Like I baked the pumpkin, I did everything. So I was pretty impressed with myself.
Literally.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Pretty impressed.
Yeah. Well, maybe this Thanksgiving you could maybe make
Shovel
one.
your way.
We could try that.
Yeah, for sure.
Awesome. Well, as always, we wanted to get into a topic today, and so we had talked a little bit about maybe sharing something about that was on your heart to share. And so, man, I love to hear what you have to say today.
Yeah. So I was thinking about it, and God just put it on my heart because the biggest thing in my walk in faith has been my influence, or like not my influence on people, but their influence on me. And so, I grew up in a Christian home like a lot of people do, and my parents are great, and so I kind of lived off of their faith for a little while, and instead of having my own. I think a lot of kids that grow up like that, until they actually like encounter Jesus for themselves, kind of live off of their parents' faith. And so not being 100% stable in my relationship with Jesus, I let friends that weren't doing the right things, or were doing things that I knew that were not right, I let that influence me over like being strong in my faith. And so that was my main thing. And I think I was like just about to become a teenager, or like maybe 13, and I had my own encounter with Jesus, and like everything changed from there. And so I decided to go to youth group at the church I grew up at, and my youth pastor at the time, his name's David Donaldson, and him and his family are just an incredible family, and they are still to this day probably like some of the biggest voices in my life that I let influence me. And he used to say all the time, like probably every time you'd see him, he would say, "You are who you hang out with." And he would say, friends are like an elevator. They're either going to take you up or they're going to take you down.
Yeah, for sure.
And from then I was like, wow, I just need to find those people that are going to take me up and not be a roadblock. The friends that want to like propel me forward instead of holding me back. And so yeah, that's been the biggest thing in my walk, is having friends and surrounding myself with people that I want to be like, instead of having friends that aren't like I want to be.
Yeah, absolutely. I've heard this saying, and those of you watching, maybe you've heard this before. I've heard it said a lot, and it's I'm trying to get it right. Show me your friends, and I'll show you your future.
Yeah.
Meaning, the people that you let into your heart, that you allow to be close to you, they have a voice, an influence, a foothold in your life, and how you become, how you act, and developing in character. There's a lot to say about who our friends are, because man, they have such a big influence on us in the way that we think, the way that we maybe approach certain things. They're shaping our opinions about certain things, and so it's really important, to like focus on that and make sure that we're choosing good friends, that the people that are closest to us, I guess the people that are like speaking into our lives, that they are people that we want to be like, people that love and honor Jesus, and can push us closer to being like Jesus, to be Christ-like. And that's so great. Thank you, for sharing that. So you had mentioned earlier that you were in Arkansas. You're part of your church, part of the youth group, and the pastors had a huge impact on you. And then, I guess fast forward, you married Travis, and then boom, now you're in Houston.
We moved here the day after our wedding. So we stayed the night in a hotel and then moved immediately. So it was crazy.
Boom, welcome to Texas.
It was so different.
Yeah, that's a big change. It's a big jump, and you're leaving home. I imagine leaving your church and leaving all those friends that you had that were around you, pouring into your life and helping you, having to leave them behind, and now you're in Texas. So what has that been like? You and Travis are here at Faith Church. So what has that been like in terms of like finding new friends and making new friends, and how's that process been? Yeah,
it's been a lengthy process. It's we've been here almost 3 years, and we actually started coming to faith, I think, in August, so it's almost been a year. And moving here and like leaving family and leaving all those friends that I really did like feel were my family was really, really difficult, and it kind of, I don't know, it's just almost depressing, and anxiety of like, I'm never going to find those friends that I have. And Travis used to tell me that, you really just have to apply yourself and actually try and get friends and not just stay at home all the time. And it was just super hard because I was like, I don't want to replace my friends in Arkansas, because
they're still your friends.
They're still my family. So it was pretty difficult for a little while until we started coming here, and I don't know, I just like immediately felt at home here, and like everyone, there's like a difference between walking into a room and everyone just is like, or not even saying anything, and then there's like walking in here, everyone's like, hey, what's your name? How are you? What are you doing? Let me have your number. And it's like super refreshing. But you just have to like apply yourself, and that's something I have to remember because I'm super bad at.
Yeah, I think there's something to be said about that too for us. That if you find yourself in a different setting, and like I've had some friends leave college and step into the workplace, and maybe a similar experience where you're leaving something that you've known for a long time, and and stepping into something new and new people and new friends. You kind of have to start to apply yourself and kind of take leaps of faith and trust the Lord in this area. Trust the Lord with our friends, who our friends are, and I've in the past I've found myself asking the Lord for friends. Maybe finding myself in a season of life where I really didn't feel like I had somebody that I could really lean on and trust and call a true friend. And I remember, hearing somebody talk about, this topic, and they said, just pray and ask the Lord for a friend. Like the Lord cares about who our friends are and that we have friends. And this is something that we can take to our Father and ask and pray about. And so I remember doing that. I'm like, okay, Lord, I am going to pray and I'm going to ask you for a friend. I need a friend right now. And, obviously Jesus is our friend, but there is something about the tangible human person friends that we have here with us. And the Lord gave me a friend, and it was a great friendship, and still a friend today. And so there's something to be said about, trusting God with that, but then also not being afraid to take those steps of faith and put ourselves out there and initiate friendship,
For sure.
So it's not easy.
No, it's really difficult.
It's not easy, but it's doable, and I think it's a part of discipleship and maturity for us to say, okay, I need some people around me. I need some
it's finding like-minded people that have the same values as you. And like I said earlier, my goal is always to have friends that are already where I want to be, because that's going to be the biggest influence. You don't want to. I mean, obviously you have friends that are at all walks of life, but those people that you let really influence you and have that voice in your life, I feel like they need to already be where you want to be. Whether that's having a house, earthly things, or spiritually.
Yeah, I think there's something to be said too about having friends and having people in your life that are where you want to be. Like you mentioned, having a house. Okay, well that means they've probably been able to manage their money well. And, they have some expertise. Some know-how in that area, and just having different types of people in our life. And I like what you said about having like-minded people. Obviously, as believers, for us, we want those people that are closest to us to be in love with Jesus and spur us on to be more like Jesus. And I remember one of our college pastors, when I was in college, he would say, there was a saying that we used to throw around, and it was, let's see if I can get this right, that we should, that our friendships and taking responsibility for the spiritual well-being of those around us was something like this: over my dead body, I'm going to let you live a stupid life. Meaning I love you and I care about your life. Over my dead body, I'm going to let you make dumb decisions because I care about you and you're worth it. We need those types of people in our life that can say, hey, wake up,
Definitely. Even if it's uncomfortable.
Even if it's uncomfortable, they can come to us and say the hard truths. And I think that it takes time and it takes trust, to get to that point. But we need people like that in our lives. So
absolutely.
So let's try some coffee. Let's try some coffee. This is sorry, I was about to grab this. Wrong cup.
I don't want that cup.
All right. Today I have the vintage Faith Assembly coffee mug.
Retro.
And you've got the artsy bird design. There's an actual name to that bird. I got that with chili, but I don't remember the name of it. Let's give this a try. I think it's cooled down a bit. Not bad.
That's good.
Not bad.
That's good. There's not a whole bunch of coffee you can drink without cream and sugar.
Oh, nice.
Unadmittedly, but it's really good.
Yeah. I like my coffee just straight black, just like that. Usually, even if it's bitter, I'll chug it down. Well, guys, thanks for joining us. And if you're watching this, man, we'd love for you to share this video. We'd love for a lot of people to be able to see this. So, young adults, thank you guys for tuning in. And also, man, if you've ever have any kind of personal testimony or awesome story about friendship in this area of your life, man, drop it in the comments. We'd love to hear some feedback from you guys. So, again, thank you for tuning in. Amanda, thank you for being here with us. Guys, we'll see you next time. Bye-bye. Yeah.
Nice. That was good. Awesome.